So today we're going to discuss how one little nerd, when put in the wrong place, can ruin your life. If you are a business owner, you have to be aware of all sorts of expenses. You have your home life, and you have to keep track of those expenses. You have, your mortgage. You have utilities, vehicle payments. Here you have date night. And if date night goes well, then you have kids. Kids are pretty expensive. Early on, you have to buy diapers. Seems like once a week, they need a new pair of clothes. They just grow right through them. Then they get older, and they start wanting things like technology. So, you got video games, you have cell phones. On down the line, they're going to want to have a vehicle to drive. So you're going to need insurance, gas. Then there's college. I'm not sure that I have enough nerds for that. But you own a construction business. So you have that lumber package for the Jones. The Kensington project just got roughed in. So electricians and plumbers are due for a draw. You're going to need to make payroll for your employees. Your GL policy is coming up, so you need to cut a check for that. Then there's transactions that you always have going on. You have office rent, phones, utilities, office supplies, vehicle maintenance, fuel. And you put your company in an LLC to be able to protect all of these nerds. And it works. If anything goes wrong in your business, these nerds over here are safe. And it's incredibly important to keep these transactions separate. Let's say that for some reason you use your business card for a personal expense. You don't really see an issue with it. Maybe you do it here and there for one reason or another. You probably use the same bank for your business and personal accounts, so I'm sure the cards look similar. Maybe you just pulled the wrong one out. Maybe you just wanted to buy something that you weren't super excited about your spouse knowing the cost of. I once tried to convince my CPA that firearms and ammunition were a business expense. He said they were not, but let's say you did that. So this is your day-to-day life. You making purchases, you have to track your personal and business expenses. But let's say that Kensington project has become a problem client. Let's say their project has stretched on longer than it was supposed to. There's been difficulties with scheduling, getting materials on time. The homeowners become very frustrated. Let's say it goes very bad. Let's say they sue you, and not your company, but you personally. And I know what you're thinking. I have an LLC, so you can't sue me personally. And here's the deal. They can. They might not be able to win, but they can sue you. And there are a number of factors that will determine if they will win. The most common one is called piercing the corporate veil. And I like this term because you can think of a veil as something that separates you from another object. And if you pierce it, it doesn't really separate you anymore. So when it comes to your lawsuit, the most common thing that pierces the corporate veil is when you have personal and business expenses mixed together. So the judge is going to look down at your personal expenses you use your business account for and say, well, it looks like you don't separate your business and personal life, so neither will we. Now the veil isn't there anymore. Your problem customer can go after all of your nerds. They can go after, the money you had for date night, video games, diapers, cell phones, and whatever you were able to squirrel away for your kids' college. Now, this is bad, and we call it one of the 50 rules of bookkeeping that you learned too late. So, let's go back to the beginning. Make sure if you have some nerds in the wrong place, you go talk to a lawyer about how to fix that. And moving forward, you want to make sure that your nerds stay in the correct place. That way, if something goes wrong, at least the ones that are most important to you and your family are protected. So, we make videos like this because our number one goal as a company is to be a hero to contractors. We perform bookkeeping, payroll, and reporting on behalf of contractors just like you, and we work hard to make sure that you understand how to use the tools that we give you and are able to leverage them to outperform your competition. And this is just one aspect of what we do that is critical to your business. And there are many others. Most contractors came up working in the trades, and as soon as they had the necessary skills and could gather enough clients, they struck out on their own. And this is awesome. I think it is a large part of what makes our country a great place to live. You can rise and fall by your own ability and effort. This also creates a unique problem, though. You spent 5 to 10 years building the skill set and knowledge needed to run a construction project. But contractors aren't usually exposed to dealing with things like corporate finance during that time. And there's a ton of good books that cover this topic. Probably the most well-known is Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth. He even went as far as to make one specifically for contractors. So that's where a company like ours is incredibly valuable. We handle critical parts of your business that are the least likely to be your strengths. So if you're a contractor and you don't know how much money you make off of each project or how much overhead you have, you need the capabilities that we offer. So if this is the place you're in where you aren't clear on where your money is going, or if the corporate veil is a new concept to you, then here's what you can do. Visit www.apparatusteam.com/action. There you will see a brief description of the types of contractors that we know that we can help. We don't sign up anyone with a credit card and a pulse. It's important to us that you're going to be successful if you use our service. So please review that. You'll also see a video there that we ask everyone to watch before applying. This should answer any questions you have about our service, including pricing and how we operate. If after these steps you conclude that not only do you need our help, but you fit our parameters and you understand our service, then fill out the application form. When you do that, we'll send out an email that will allow us to schedule a half-hour Zoom meeting with you. In this meeting, we will clear up any lingering questions that you might have and confirm that your company will find success using our service. Remember that no matter what problem you are facing, you do not have to face it alone. And things can be much more simple than you realize. All it takes is someone with the right set of skills and the right tools. We hope to hear from you soon.